Hello and welcome back to the latest episode of the Laura and Becky Show, sponsored by Box Bar in Sheffield and Rolling Tap Mobile Bars.
Yeah, we love the fact you keep coming back and listening. We really appreciate every download. If you're new here, then welcome. I hope you enjoy. Well, we're sure you will.
And whilst you're listening, click all the buttons on whatever medium you're listening on. So give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and give us a review. Thank you.
So we always like to start with any messages that we get in, and we've had one. Well, actually, someone set up a group.
I know someone that we didn't know on Instagram set up a group with them and us two in there. I love this though. It's Carla, and she said, "Love your podcast, ladies. Just been for a run whilst listening. Couldn't stop laughing. Keep up the good work."
This is good. I like the fact Carla's running. She's a fitness
lady
fanatic, I was going to say.
Yeah, you like people running and listening to our podcast, don't you? You always say this.
I like the thought of like someone running and listening and then like maybe like chuckling a little bit. And also when I used to run, I don't anymore, listening to podcasts really helps because it takes your mind off how knackered you are. So I love the fact people listen on dog walks and whilst they're running.
When Carla messaged us in this group as well, I messaged back and I started interrogating her.
I know, I did notice that. I was like, Jesus.
So where do you listen, Carla? How did you find us? How long do you listen for? Do you enjoy it, Carla? I thought I'd just ask her a bit of
and then it's like
questions.
Carla left the group.
I bet she's sorry that she ever messaged us. But yeah, she found us on Spotify, I think it was. And she was like, yeah, I'll mention it to all my friends. So thanks, Carla. We really appreciate you listening.
Right now, last night, I could not sleep.
Mate, I know this isn't our mate, but mate, me too.
Well, when we went for a drink quite late, let's be honest.
Yeah, after recording the podcast
I was like, there's got to be like lots of sugar in that pale rosé we had or something, because we've never had that pale rosé before.
No, we had a different one. We tried a different one. Actually, very nice, wasn't it? It was at the Batch House where we normally go.
Of course it was. What I loved was when we went in there, there's a few changes going on in there at the moment. And the bar where we usually get our pale rosé from, I walked in and we just stood there and I looked at you, and behind you, so you were facing me, behind you I could see that the bar had been completely cleared. There was no drink. And I just and I went, mate, turn around. And you just went, I can't do that. What?
I thought there'd be someone in there that I didn't want to see. So the fear got hold of me. I was like, no,
I can't do that.
I can't.
I was like, just turn around. And your face, when you saw you were literally like, oh my God. I mean, we were stunned, weren't we? And then you just like kind of pegged it over to the bakery and started interrogating that poor man.
I'll be honest, it took the wind out my sails. So if you're a regular listener to the podcast, you'll know that we love going for a pale rosé at the Batch House. So the one place we go to in there, as Laura said, is closing down. And I thought, no one's told us about this. Someone should have pre-warned us. Honestly, it really took me by surprise.
But we did find some pale rosé at another bar. It was all good. But I got home, had to pick my daughter up, and then I got home, and my husband just made some cheese scones.
At, 11 o'clock at night?
There were warm cheese scones on the side when I walked into my kitchen.
God, he's good, isn't he?
Bloody hell, yeah. Tucked into one of them. So I had one of them. And then went to bed. Mate, I couldn't sleep. My mind was like, bong, da, bong, da, bong, da, bong, da, bong, da, bong, da, bong. I wasn't thinking about it. Yeah. I was just nuts.
I was exactly the same last night. And
did you put on a lesbian podcast? Did you?
I did put on a meditation. All I remember...
Oh, a meditation podcast, was it?
It wasn't the lesbian one last night. I thought I'd give that a rest last night. But... it was quite hot. It was quite close last night as well, wasn't it? So I couldn't quite get comfy. I had a load of like thoughts running around in my head, and I was sort of drifting off, but then like jumping awake. So I thought, right, I'm putting a meditation on. I just remember looking at my clock on my phone, and it was 3:30 in the morning. I was listening to some random bloke go on about happiness and inner chakras and all this stuff at 3:30 a.m.
Well, I think I kind of dozed, and then at 8 minutes past 2, I awoke to a very strange sound, and it was this. And I was like, and it just went like that. I was like, what the fuck is that? What is that? It was like a really weird, like, giggle. But
like
it sounded like a zombie. Mate, I was like... like that. It was horrible. Whatever. I was like, oh my God. Anyway, then heard footsteps out on the road. Because we had our skylight windows open. Heard like footsteps and like talking. And I was like, oh. Now, I remember once, this was years ago. You know, sometimes on American TV, they have like cops and the helicopter follows like criminals and stuff. My mic's just gone really quiet. Has it gone quiet?
I can hear you.
Okay. I'll carry on then.
We might be having tech issues here.
Does
it look all right?
I think so.
Do you want to stop and check it, or do you want to carry on? We're going to stop it here, but we'll be back.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, it's all fine. We just had to unplug a few things, press a few buttons, and
it's fine.
Bob's your uncle.
Anyway, so ages ago, on one of these American TV things, I watched this thing where this guy had taken some drug that makes you delirious and makes you want to eat people.
Nice.
I watched the video and I passed out after I watched the video.
What?
I don't know. I was morbidly fascinated, and it was literally this guy, like, just it's awful. And I got up and I'd gone all lightheaded and I just passed out because it was so rank. Anyway, so it reminded me of that because I looked out my bloody window, could just see 4 men on the floor outside our house.
So you thought
and
it was
looked
him?
Like one of them was eating one of them. No. And I think it's because I was delirious and I was so tired. But I was like, what is going on outside my house?
Yeah, I'd have been terrified.
They were doing something dodgy. So,
but not eating each other.
And I'd looked out gone like downstairs into like, I'd call it my
fair play. You went downstairs to see what they were doing.
I just had to look out the window, and then I went back up and I pulled the skylight and I popped my head out, but they couldn't see me, so I just watched them.
Yeah.
For like 25 minutes.
And what were they doing?
They were obviously taking some drug. They were it's just really weird. They weren't thankfully eating each other. That was great.
That's good. That's good to know.
But then one of them started like doing a catwalk walk up and down my road. I was a bit like, what? Am I dreaming? You know when you're a bit like...
Yeah,
I told my husband this morning, he was like, Laura, what are you talking about? I was like, I swear to God.
Why didn't you wake him up?
Because they would just be like, oh. So I just left him. Anyway, I don't know what they were doing, but then they started like throwing like Pringles cans around.
Oh no, that's out of order.
Come on.
What litter bugs?
So no, after that, I then got back in bed and I started to think about the video I watched 6 years ago and I passed out. And then I was like, oh God, what if someone breaks it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's so weird you said that. I was worried that someone would break in last night.
How weird.
Yeah, I actually, because I've got like, what they call door stops, like wedges that go underneath the doors to stop them closing. I wedged that and wedged my door shut so no one could get in last night. I thought there was something in the air last night.
Oh, so anyway, this morning I woke up, I was like, oh God, bloody hell.
Well, you actually, you called them something. I blooming love this word. You came in this morning and you went, I got to tell you about these hooligans on the podcast today.
Hooligans on the avenue.
I love that word.
How very dare they? Anyway, we'll just drink coffee and we'll crack on with the day.
Yeah, we're a little bit tired today, but we moved, don't we? Now, we need to talk about the studio where we record this podcast. So it's in like a kind of like little office block, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a few different offices in here and obviously different businesses and things. And right next door to where I don't know why I'm whispering now. I never normally whisper.
I don't think they're there, are they?
I don't think so. Right next door to the studio, literally like over the next wall, there is a therapist, isn't there?
I mean... There is, yeah. She moved in probably about 2 months ago. She's very nice. I've only really said hello to her.
I've never seen her.
But sometimes she is here when we're recording this podcast.
Yeah.
And because we've got headphones on, our voices are louder than she will be able to hear everything we say.
I know. Well, there was one day she was in and we could kind of... hear her on a call to people, couldn't we? And there was us like laughing our heads off. It might have even been that evening. You know the last one that we did of season 1. We had limoncello and drinks, and we were like, "Way!"
Imagine what she says to her client. She's like, "Oh, don't worry about the noise next door."
Well, I bet she's literally getting ready to tap us up like, "Girls, do you want to come in and have a chat with me? Come on. I've overheard some of your conversations. I think you two need a bit of therapy." I love a bit of therapy.
Well, maybe you should go and knock on her door.
Well, the thing is, I feel like I was cheating on my therapist. I've got a therapist.
Oh, right.
Yeah. She scares me a bit, actually. I'm not going to
She
lie.
does. That's always really funny. You're like, oh, God.
Well, she's brutal with me, but I like that. Like, she rips me apart and she puts me back together.
Do you think we should go and knock and just say to her, do you hear us?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it might be quite nice to put a note under her door and say, listen, sorry, if we are a bit loud one day, if you're wondering what's going on, we do a podcast and...
Hey, listen, she could sponsor us.
Hey, we could hit her up, couldn't we?
Or we could get her on the podcast. Mate, what are we doing?
I think it's quite interesting getting a therapist on the podcast.
Right.
Plug her business
Do
for
you
her.
need therapy if you're listening?
I thought you were asking me. I was like, yeah,
well,
yes,
know
I
you
do. I'm in it, love.
If you're listening and you need therapy or you need help with a particular problem,
Yeah.
let us know. We'll go and knock next door. Right, sorry, one of our listeners wants to know. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, let us know. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. It's time to talk about our lovely sponsors, Rolling Tap Mobile Bars. Now, these guys are awesome. And actually, since they've sponsored our podcast, we've obviously been talking about them to other people we know. And it seems like everybody knows about Rolling Tap Mobile Bars around here.
I know, it's so weird. Everyone actually knows them, don't they? Because they're so nice. They provide a great service. So if you are having an event or a do, I like when people call it a do.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Do
you
you?
need to... I do.
Do you like a do?
I do like a do. I think a lot of people are thinking about like autumn, winter now. Your thoughts are kind of turning to the end of the year.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have maybe a Christmas party, then go and have a look at Rolling Tap Mobile Bars. They are brilliant.
They are. They bring everything along that you need, all the drinks. They mix all the cocktails for you. They put on a bit of a show and it looks very nice and bougie and Instagrammable as well. So have a look at them on Instagram at Rolling Tap Mobile Bars.
Right, what's going on in the world?
So I just read this morning. Oh God, this has been going on for ages. Who is going to be the new James Bond? Obviously, Daniel Craig is not Bond anymore. You're right there, love. Am I boring you?
Oh, go on, you two. Carry on.
So we're talking about who is going to be the next James Bond, right? Apparently, the number one, who is the favourite, Idris Elba, he's walked away from it, Laura.
How do you know this? Is this on Metro?
Read it on the Mail Online.
What, God, I don't really care anymore, if I'm honest. I'm so over it. Do you remember when we went to watch it and you cried like a baby?
I love James Bond. I grew up watching James Bond and I love the film so much. And I was not expecting...
Him to die.
Yeah, sorry if you haven't seen it, but you should have seen
Oh,
it by now.
yeah,
But
he
it was so brutal, and I was like, what? I was like, James Bond can't die. And I was so confused as to what they were going to do with the next few films. Anyway, yeah, I was really crying. But I wanted Idris to be the next James Bond.
Me too. I don't know. Who's it going to be?
I don't know, and apparently Idris is now helping Barbara Broccoli find the new James Bond. He's helping them. He's like, no, I'm out, but I will help you find a decent Bond. Decent 007.
That just seems like such a weird story. Why would he help them? Just be James Bond. Why would he not want to be James Bond?
See, I thought this. Why would you go, nah, James Bond? Nah,
No,
not for me.
it's your wage.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed income for at least, 6 years?
Yeah, and you'll always be known as being one of the James Bonds.
Yeah.
I know, I don't get it.
I think it's a... No, I was going to say catfish.
PR stunt.
Yeah, it's like it's to throw you off the scene.
Yeah.
Scent?
The
What
scent.
hell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you seen Luther with Idris in?
No.
Oh, well, actually, after what you were saying earlier about that video you watched about that man eating men, it's quite scary. So I wouldn't watch it at night, but in the day maybe. But honestly, it's so good. He's brilliant in it.
I think he's going to be in the next James Bond. I think
Do you?
it's what's the word? It's when you something throws you. It's a.
It's putting a.
You know, you're
It's
a cat amongst the pigeons. No.
No, I was just thinking that it's to throw you off the scent.
Yeah.
Put it in a.
Oh my God.
Hang on, we're
Something
going to have
wrong
to
with
Google
me. It's because
this.
I'm due on. I can't think straight.
Well, also, it's probably because you didn't sleep last night and you were watching boys catwalk up and down your road.
Hooligans. You know when it's a curveball. A curve.
Curve ball throws you. Oh, mate, I don't even know what to put into
Okay,
Google.
you know what I mean.
Just quickly as well.
Yes.
On the subject of Idris, I like him as a DJ and like a rapper as
I
well.
know, yeah.
What's that? Boasty.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Ballsy.
Boasty. Yeah. Boasty. Sorry, I like it. I was getting into it then.
I reckon if you met him in person, you'd be like, bloody hell.
I think you
I bet
couldn't
he
not fancy him.
smells incredible.
Yeah. I bet he's got the gift of the gab
I
as well,
bet
isn't
is,
he?
Yeah. I hope he's the next Bond. Come on, Idris. So our lovely sponsors of the podcast are Box Spa. Now, if you want to get fit for the winter, maybe you want to get fit for Christmas, that's not long, is it?
It's not. And also, if you want to go to like a really nice gym, then
Yeah.
this is the one.
It's so nice. And I always think everyone, we've talked about this before, but everyone gets a little bit nervous about going to the gym for the first time and who's going to be there. Is it going to be cliquey? Just go and try it. You get your first class free.
Yeah, so you may as well. It smells nice. It looks nice. Everyone's so friendly
It
in there.
smells nice.
It does though. When we first walked in, we were like,
Yeah, it does
oh, it
smell
smells
nice.
lush. And everyone's really nice and friendly. The classes are brilliant. So if you do fancy it, go and check them out online at boxbar.co.uk.
Right, May, we need to talk about something that we've noticed that we do. There's been a couple of instances recently where I've thought Becky was committing a crime and she thought I was committing a crime, and we've both backed each other up without even knowing it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a policeman or a policewoman listening, please don't come and arrest us because we didn't actually commit a crime. But we went to, we were together, obviously. You were getting petrol, weren't you, for your car?
Well, no, the first time this happened was in Derby. In Mango or Zara? In Zara.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Yeah, so we walked out of a store and as we both walked out, the alarms started sounding. So I looked at you and I thought, do we need to run?
Laura thought I'd nicked something.
I just looked at you and went, is that you? Do we need to go?
Yeah, but instead of going, have you like got something by mistake or have you nicked something, you went, do we need to run? You were with me. Like, if I'd done a bad thing, you were with me all the way.
Yeah, mate, I would have run out of that.
I mean, I hadn't.
Do you remember that bloke gobbed on your head in that? Do you remember
that? Yes, I do.
Spat on your
disgusting.
head.
Absolutely disgusting.
And then we went back to... You were like, I'm going to go and tell security. And then we chickened out and just left.
Well, do you know what it was? That boy was walking around. He looked a bit scared. I thought, oh, he's going to have me. I just thought, no, I just won't bother. The other time it happened was we were both in a petrol station. You were filling your car up with petrol. We walked in and we got a few other bits and bobs, didn't we, before going to pay for petrol. If you're interested, I got a hot pepperami and some What's It crisps.
I think I got an egg and cress sandwich and a drink.
Get a coffee?
Crisps, something like that. Yeah. So I paid for mine. And stepped back, and then you paid for yours. But you turned around and you went, have you paid for that?
Well, I saw that your total had come to like £4.25. I thought, bloody hell, I thought petrol was expensive at the moment. But I didn't want to make a big deal of it. So I just looked at you and I was like, have you paid for the petrol? And you went, yeah, because you didn't hear what I said, did you? You thought I meant, had you paid for your sandwich?
Yeah, my egg and cress. I was like, yeah. And you went, oh, right. And then you paid for yours, and you just you walked out quite quickly with me. And I was like, you're right, babe. And you're like, did you say, are you not paying for your petrol again? Did you say that?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I'm paying for my petrol. But you would have just got in the car with me had I ever gone, let's just get in the car and go, love.
I would have been with you, yeah. I thought, I'm not going to dobble in here and I'm not going to act suspicious. I'm just going to act cool, act like nothing's going on here.
Mate, I keep doing that. I did it again the other day.
Oh, you have.
Filled my car. I mean, luckily it's my local petrol station. They're all really lovely in there.
They probably know you. They've probably got a poster up.
Oh,
here she is.
Yeah. I got a coffee, put petrol in, went in, got a coffee, paid for the coffee, walked out, got into the car. She had to come and knock at the door. She went, love. I was like, yeah. She went, petrol. I was like, oh, shit, I've done it again.
You are going to be notorious. People are going to be talking about you.
I know. What happens if you do drive off? Do they get your registration number and they just send you the bill?
I don't know, because obviously they've got your reg, haven't they? I don't know.
Do you remember when you'd go and pay for petrol before debit and credit cards? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And if you didn't have the money, they'd just be like, just pop your name and address there. Do you remember?
Hang on, yes, I do remember this.
Yeah, I'm sure they used to be like, oh,
that's so weird, isn't it? Little IOU.
Yeah, but you'd never go bloody back, would you?
No, we could do with that these days. Actually, it's so blooming expensive.
What petty crime could we commit? Would you nick a penny sweet from Tesco?
Well,
if I dared you to.
Well, yeah, I would. Yeah.
Would you?
I'd nick a penny sweet. But I will say this one. I'm not going to name the friend. I think I've told you this. But my friend once said to me, it's not a friend I would expect to do this, by the way. My friend went to me one day, she went, I got a confession to make. I was like, right. She goes, I steal things. Do you remember me telling you this? I was going to mouth to you who it is. Yes. Yeah, that's what I mean. You'd never expect it in a million years. And I went, what do you mean you steal things? She went, oh, just little things here or there. She went, maybe like, I don't know, an apple from the supermarket, or I might steal some chocolate bars.
Do you know, it's just reminded me of something. Oh, my God. In Big Tesco, in Ches, right, I once got an eyeliner, right? And I couldn't put the eyeliner in the trolley because it would have fallen to the floor. So I had a carrier bag, and this was before Scan and Pay. This was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll put the eyeliner in the carrier bag so it won't fall out. And then when I get to the till, I'll pay for it. Of course, completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
Got my other shopping, got to the till, scan and shop, beep, 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 put all my stuff through, down the escalator, hand on my shoulder. Can you come with me, please? And I was like, sorry. And he went, just need to come with me. Mate, I got walked through Tesco's out the back and put in the fucking interview room. And this was like at 2:40 and I had to go on the school run. So I was like, and he was like, can you just empty your bags, blah, blah, blah. I got the receipt.
How did they know?
Because they've been watching me on CC. They watch a lot. If you look at any supermarkets, the makeup section, there's mate, I tell you how they know.
So basically, don't steal makeup.
I tell you how I know, because he got the pencil. I went, oh no. I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. And he was like, well. And then I started getting shitty because I looked at him. I was like, I've just spent £70 in here.
Yeah.
That eyeliner is £1.50.
Yeah.
Why would I steal that? Like, what? And I went, I need to go on the school run. Can I just pay for the eyeliner and go?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm going to have to get my supervisor. I went, you get your supervisor. Anyway, they took me into the control room. Mate, it was like NASA.
No.
Yeah.
So they see everything.
Oh, they see everything, yeah.
Well, this is good to know, isn't it?
Anyway, they made me pay for the eyeliner, but wouldn't let me have the eyeliner, which I since found out isn't right.
What do you mean they wouldn't let you have it?
Didn't let me have I had to pay for it, and they didn't let me have it.
That's out of order. How long ago was this?
It was a long time
Right,
ago.
I don't care. Let's get back to Big Tesco today. I'm not having
Let's
that.
go nick an eyeliner and run out with it.
Mate, you're due one. You're due an eyeliner.
Let's go and commit crimes today.
Let's go thieving.
Okay, well,
Who's
back to
with us?
Woo! See you later.